Hello everyone, it's Derek. It's been a while since the last video. Reason being I was grinding super hard because we're in the middle of the downswing at the end of the last video, and I started playing a lot of four table blitz and then try to put a lot of hands in to get out of the downswing. And grateful we did, but it came like a little bit later. Gonna briefly explain to you guys later. And today I just want to talk about um, how much poker can really, like how much money poker can really make you potentially, and see if this is something that you guys want to put time to study and then to get better at it, so you can use it as a side hustle or even your full-time job, right? So here's a graph of the hands I played this month so far, which it's about roughly 2 weeks. So right now I've been playing 200 buying, 240 buying games. I built enough bankroll towards end of May, and then I took a shot jumping, actually 4x the stakes. So I double jumped the stakes, and then start playing some 1-2 because just based on my experience and then uh, my history, like I'm pretty confident in my ability to win the stakes. But if it is like your very first time trying out the stakes, definitely don't do the jump until you build enough bankroll. So here is our stats. I wouldn't put so online poker, like we're focusing on your win rates, right? And then for win rate, we look at how many big blind you win per 100 hands. Right now we're averaging about $12, almost $13 for the month for the past 2 weeks. But this is unrealistic. So a normal crusher, the best regular players at any stakes, you're looking at around like maybe between 5 to 7. That's more realistic. So we have been running pretty good. But anything like above 1 means that you're a winning player, obviously. So if you can average like two big blind per 100 hands, that's pretty good as well. The way it calculates is so let's say the game we play is 1-2, right? So let's say you average about two big blind per 100 hands, and depending on how many hands you play, like I average about maybe like 1,000 hands per hour because I play 4 tables of blitz, which is equivalent to 14 tables. If you can do that, then you can definitely uh, quadruple or like even like 10x your win rate. So for me, if I can average 1,000 hands and then I have a win rate of two big blind per 100, so the big blind is 1-2, right? So obviously, big blind is $2, so you times $2 by two, which is two big blind per 100 hands, and then you get $4. And then per every hour we can log around like 1,000 hands, so you times that by 10. And then, so if you're a two big blind per 100 player and playing 1-2, meaning that your average hour is $40. But it's not only that because there's also rake back and there's also like bonuses as well, depending on which side you play. The side I play, I can get up to like 90% rake back, which is really, really good. Rake back for 1-2, playing 1,000 hands per hour, you're getting probably around like $15 per hour. So you're looking at um, another 15, and then you also get bonuses. Bonuses get you another, I would say, close to $30 per hour. If you really put your time in and be a grinder, which means that you play a lot of hands and a lot of hours, so you can potentially be making, um, actually no, so for 55 is with that rate back with the bonus, you're looking at like $85 per hour. So if you're just become a 2 BB per 100 winner at 1-2, then you're looking at $85 per hour. That's your basic your rate, right? And then 2 BB per 100 is like I wouldn't say easy to achieve, but it's definitely doable. Like a lot of regulars who are winning players can average two big blind per 100. Like right now we're averaging like 12, almost like $13, which is unrealistic. My goal is probably get to like maybe between 5 to 7, and if higher than that, that would be great. So let's just use us as example. So if we can average that's just disregard 13 because this is not sustainable, right? So let's just say we can average 5 BB per 100, right? So that means we average 2 times 5 big blinds, so we average 10 BB, $10 per hour, and then we play 1,000 hands, so we times that by 10, and then you add all the ragebacks, which were about $15, and then you add the bonuses, which is $30 per hour. So you're looking at 145. If you're like a crusher, like a 5 BB per 100 winner, then you at 1-2 no limit, then you're looking at almost $150 per hour rate, right? So this is pretty high. And then uh, I know some of you will probably ask, like, is it easy to do? Fuck no. Like, definitely, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to get to a 5 BB per 100 winner, but like which high paying job is easy to do? Like, is it easy to be a doctor? Is it easy to be an attorney? Or is it easy to be a CPA? Hell no, right? You have to spend the time and then to study for it. You have to spend time to grind. But to get to this level, like $150, basically close to like a doctor pay or like a pharmacist pay, right? And if you can, like, is it easy? No, it's not easy. But is it easier than becoming a doctor or an attorney or like pharmacist doctor? Fuck yes, right? So in order to become a doctor, you need to spend like 10 years, 12 years, and then you spend tons of money studying. And you have to like spend hours. I don't even know how many hours you have to spend in order to get like a doctorate degree or something. But like getting to this level is definitely like spending time, investing your time studying poker and stuff. It's definitely easier than becoming a doctor, right? So um, I'm not sure how many of you can average $150 per hour doing your job. Um, so if you're making less than this, then this is definitely something that you can consider. I'm not saying that it's gonna be an easy road because you're definitely gonna start out losing a lot of money to begin with, and but eventually, if you put in enough time and then find enough coaching, um, or somebody or a friend who's really good at the game who can help you, then getting there is definitely realistic, right? Um, that's pretty much what I want to talk about in terms of the potential. Like if you imagine this, if you play like 2-5, so let's say you play like twice as big as 1-2, then you double this, right? Of course, when you play a tougher game, a more expensive game, players are gonna be better. So your opponents are better. So your win rate cannot be the same. So you can just double it, but I would say like you can easily achieve like $250 per hour playing 2-5, right? And then what about 5-10? If you play 5-10, you can average like what? Like close to maybe 400 per hour, um, depending on the win rate really. But the potential is there, right? So um, it's of course it's gonna be difficult to make like millions of dollars every year, but there are people who's able to do that, right? And then I believe like a lot of you just will be pretty happy, getting paid like $150 to like $300 per hour, right? So depending on what your goal is, but it's definitely achievable, right? So in order to start it, I want to talk about the bankroll because I remember I talked about this in the first video that one day I'll go over it. So in order to get started, depending on the stake you want to play, if you want to play like a 5 cents, 10 cents game with $10 buying, all the bankroll you need is really $200. And this is where I got started, like 15 years ago. I deposited $200 and then I turned into 50,000 in like I think a year. But it's whatever makes you comfortable. If you have like 50 grams sitting in a bank and then you want to just take shot and then start with 25 cents, 50 cents, which is okay as well, but I wouldn't recommend it because the game is tougher and then you don't want to lose too much money before knowing that you can be a consistent winner, right? So in order to get started, you can start with 5 cent, 10 cents, or 10 cent, 25 cent. 10 cent, 25 cents is probably ideal because you only need $500 bankroll. Um, basically 20 buy-ins, and if you lose it all, then there's definitely something wrong with your game because you shouldn't be losing that much money. I mean, you shouldn't be losing 20 buy-ins bankroll when you're playing 25 cents game because the game is really soft. You shouldn't really be losing that much. Um, Once you get to like 25 50 cents, then it gets a little bit tougher. I'll say like the game at 25 cents, 50 cents is like maybe 4 times harder than 10 cents, 25 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents. So when you get to like this level, you have to like be like a little careful. In terms of bankroll, I'll recommend like at least 30 buy-ins. But if you're an experienced player and then you're having a winner, then you can definitely try with just 1,000. This is what we did in this account actually, back in April. Now we have I think we were around like 7,000. Yeah, so we started with 1,000 end of April, and then now we have like 7,000 something. So we 7x our bankroll already. But this is like this didn't come easy. I'll go through the downswing I have gone through. It happens to everyone, so it's just variances and that you cannot avoid. And if you cannot handle variance, then don't play poker because it's gonna happen to you for sure, 100%. Like it's not even like, you know, maybe it will happen. Like it's gonna happen. Um, so if you're more experienced, you can start with like a smaller bankroll and then definitely drop back stake if you're like on a downswing or something, unless you have the bankroll to just sustain it, right? And then when you get to like 50 cents a dollar, you need like even more bankroll. I would say like 40 buying is probably safe. And then once you get to like 1 2 level, 10,000 bankroll is probably mandatory. At least 50 buy-ins because some downswing can get really nasty, and I'll show you guys in a moment. But if you're aggressive and then you're aggressive, and then you can try to take shots when you have like for 50 buying game you can take shot when you have like 1,000, and then you want to take shot at 100 game 2,000 bankrolls. Okay, like 20 buying is like reasonable, but it's a little bit risky. You just have to be prepared to drop down stakes or go bankrupt pretty much. Um, like 2,000, 200 buying, 4,000. Just really aggressive. You want to take shots. We actually took shot at so we were playing 25 cents, 50 cents for the longest time, right? And I built my bankroll to like I think 3,200, and then that's when we took shot at 1 2. Good thing was that it worked out pretty well, as you can see. Once we start taking shots at 1 2, we have been on a pretty good run. There are a few bad session, but mostly were good sessions, right? So we kind of got sort of lucky there. Um, but we're on a downswing for the longest time, so I knew upswing was totally due. So we took shot at 30 when we had 3,200, but I was prepared to drop down stakes, right? So if I drop like so here, the first session we drop like 2 buy-ins right away. So if the next session we drop like another 2 to 3 buy-ins, which means that we down 5 buy-ins, then I'll totally drop back to 25 cents, 50 cents just to build that bankroll back up. But good thing that it worked out, and then we just skyrocketed from there. But it's not gonna be this lucky every time, or I wouldn't say lucky. Like it's just that the variance is gonna be there. So if it happens that you're having a bad run after you jump stakes, then you just have to discipline to drop down stakes or prepare to put in more money if that's what you want. But that's not the case for me. I don't want to do that. So if it's me, I'll just drop down stakes, right? Here's the bankroll, and then um, the next I want to show you guys what. So this is this month, right? We played about 16,000 hints. Only 16 hours, like actually 29 hours. It's not a lot, but it's a decent sizing, right? I'm gonna show you guys what happened to me back in late April till actually late May. It was like crazy kind of downswings. We're just gonna add this. So let's do April first. Add to filter and then take this out, take this out. Okay. So this is ever since April, right? So you see this terrible graph, right? this is what can happen to you. Okay, even myself, like I'm being, you know, live, 510, 1020 live pro and regular crusher at 510, 1020 live. Even I have to endure this. Like even at one point, I think it was around like here, like 80,000, like yeah, around like 80,000 hands. And then when I was down like 20 buy-ins, I was so frustrated. I actually had to reach out to one of my poker buddy, who's really really good online. He's not as good of a player live, but he was really strong player online. And I have to reach out to him, and then actually he had to coach me out of it because I was playing a lot. Well, like mostly I would say like 70% bad luck, but 30% I was having like a lot of leaks too. So I pay him I think 1 hour here, and then I pay him another hour here. So basically I pay him 2 hours of coaching, and then he definitely fixed a lot of my leaks online. And then ever since that we have been like on the rise. But he said like he told me this is totally normal. Like he had like numerous 200,000 hands downswing, which is crazy because it's a lot of hands, right? So from here, I'll say like from here, maybe around like 5,000 hands till here, right? Which is like rock bottom. Maybe right here, which is like 155,000. So we had a stretch where we had a downswing for 150,000 hands from here to here, right? So we're down almost like 30 buy-ins playing 25 cents, 50 cents, right? But but this is just a net win and losses, but we still get rate back. So even though it shows like even at this point like we're down like 30 buying $3,000, we're actually up like couple grand because you see like how much rate we paid during this entire stretch, right? We pay like almost 5,500 rake backs, and then like I say, we probably average about some weeks if you grind really hard, you can get like 90% rake back. For me, I probably get like 70, close to 70 rake back. So just rake back itself, um, we got about like 4,100 back, right? And then some bonuses as well. So when we're down here, even though it shows down $3,000, our bankroll were actually at like 3,200. That's when we took shot at 1-2. I think we took shot at 1-2 around like here. Yeah, it was around here. So we had like a little bit of a good stretch, and I just feel like our game is on par. Like our game was like perfectly polished, and then I was really confident that everything's gonna be okay if we jump stakes. So I think it's around here where we took shots at 1-2, and then had a few rough session, but it was on the way up after that. I think around here. Even though it shows like negative 1,500, our bankroll were actually at like 32 to 3,300 because of rakeback and bonuses. Um, so rakeback is basically the amount of money the poker site charges you every hands, and you get certain percentage of that back. Every site is a little bit different. Like the site I play on, American Car Room, they give you like 27% rake back, and then they give like bonuses as well. So you can get up to like 90 something percent rake back. So you're basically not paying too much playing those games, which is good. On some sides, it's the rake is just crazy, especially like the smaller game you play. The reason why I want to jump to 1-2 as soon as possible is because the rake is less punishing. Like when you play like really tiny stakes, rake is really really punishing. So it's really hard for you to have like a strong win rate. Um, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like from here to here, like 150,000 downswing, which is crazy. I'm not saying like I wasn't winning. Of course, there's winning and losing, but just basically overall, it is on a downtrend. And then it lasted like 150,000 hands, which is 150 hours. If you think about it, it's really like for me, it's since I play 4 tables of bliss, which is equivalent to like 14 tables. It's a lot of work, but it wasn't that bad. Like 150 hours is probably like if you think about it as a full-time job, you're probably looking at like 4 weeks of full-time job. So you can totally like this happens to like everyone, right? So it's if you take it seriously, it's definitely gonna happen to you as well. So just imagine you go through like a 4 week stretch where everything's, up and down, but in general just down, right? But this is gonna stop. Like at the same time, you have to look at things from both sides, right? So if you have like 150,000 150,000 hands downswing, you can have an upswing for like 200,000 hands, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. So hopefully that it's the case. And then next time, I made a video about our bankroll or our tracker program. Hopefully we have like a bankroll of like 20,000 or something. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get there. Um, yeah. Other than that, I think that's everything I want to talk about. It's just that poker is just a brutal game. But like I say, like if you want like a high paying job, none of those high paying job comes stress free or without effort, right? So you can never get the high paying job without putting efforts, and you can never get a high paying job without stress. So poker is just one of the tools that you can just play at home, and then you can just play in your boxer or something, and something you can do like anytime. And then if you're traveling around the world, or like if you go back to Asia to see your family, like you can, like this is a skill and job where you can take it with you everywhere, and you can play live, you can play online. So it's a good skill to have. So if you're seeing this video up until this point and considering seriously, then I'll say give it a shot, because it is a good skill to have, especially now during COVID time. Like a lot of businesses are really slow. A lot of my business owners have nothing to do. Then why not pick up a new skill set where you can make a lot of decent money on the side, or even if you're good enough, then one day you can become like a like really strong regular, and you can take it. Maybe you can make like 500,000 dollar per year, or like up to 1 million, which is good, right? Like hopefully you get there. Like it's not my goal. My goal is just to build my business, but the tour is right there. So if that's something you want to do, then totally go for it, right? Other than that, if you have any question and you're my friend, definitely just message me, and I'll try my best to help you out. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. I might start recording some 1-2 action, but I don't really want to, because it's just way less efficient. So if I record 2 tables or 1-2, I play around like 380 to like 450 hands per hour. Versus if I just 4 table blitz, I can average like 1,000 hands. It just doesn't make sense for me to play that much fewer that many fewer hands per hour when I can play 2x or 3x more hands with the same time. But I might do that. I'll probably do that like once or twice a week, just so you guys can see some action. If that's something you want to see, definitely leave a comment. Um, I'll try my best to put in some sessions together for you guys to see. And yeah, hopefully my video helps you solve a lot of your poker problem. And hopefully I'll see you soon.